Hello kids, hope you all have already seen the part 1, 2 and 3 of the video, and this is the final part of the supplementary 5, A Day in 2889 of an American Journalist, written by Jules Verne. So let's get started. So in part 3 of the video, we learned that Mr. Francis Bennett went to Niagara to visit his accumulator. So I already told you what is an accumulator. Accumulator is nothing but it just stores or conserve energy from the waterfall. Say for example, it accumulates energy which is produced by the waterfall. So then he sells that energy to the consumers, or else sometimes he hires that. Then he got back to his place, the newspaper channel where he works, and then after that he was every day, as I told you in the last part of the video, every day he visits different people. Say for example, he will have a meeting every day to look out for the best projects. So many people around the world will come and visit to will come and have a visit to Mr. Francis Bennett, because he was a millionaire and he was funding the money to the people also. So he every day he gets a lot of projects. Among lot of projects, he wanted to find out, like he wanted to choose the best one. So when he was choosing, he got rid of many projects that seems to be impossible and also not useful. Then he found a few projects which were quite useful and impressive. Then from that, there was one guy, a young man who was sitting in front of him, who seems to be intelligent. How did you find out he seems to be intelligent? His broad bro indicated that he is an intelligent guy. So this is where we left. Now we'll be starting from where we left. So this entire conversation, right, which I'm going to read and explain, is between that young man and Mr. Francis Bennett. Sir, he began, though the number of elements used to be estimated at 75, it has now been reduced to 3, as no doubt you are aware. Perfectly, Mr. Francis Bennett replied. Well, sir, I am on the point of reducing the 3 to 1. If I don't run out of money, I will have succeeded in 3 weeks. And then, sir, I shall really have discovered the obsolete. And the result of that discovery? It will be to make the creation of all forms of matter easy: stone, wood, metal, fibrine. Are you saying you're going to be able to construct a human being? Complete. The only thing missing will be the soul. Francis Bennett assigned the young fellow to the scientific editorial department. So as you, while reading itself, you would have understood. Anyway, briefly explain me what happens here. So as I told you, Mr. Francis Bennett was looking for different projects from different people. Then he found one young man whose broad bro indicated who's that he seems to be an intelligent person, right? So he starts by talking with Mr. Francis Bennett. And also let me tell you, this young man is a chemist, which is not given in your book, but in the original novel it is given like that. For the continuation purpose, I will also be explaining whatever missing points will be missed in this story. So this young man is a chemist, which means he is interested in making different innovative technological kind of things. Say for example, constructing a robot or a machine. So he says that usually, so remember, the story is completely revolving around in 2889, which means 1000 years ahead before the story written. So what happens here, this guy, this young man is telling to Mr. Francis Bennett that, sir, previously it has been estimated, I mean, people calculated that 75 elements are required to make a robot, but now in our era it has been reduced to 3. So which you already know. For that, Francis Bennett says, yes, I am aware of that. I know that perfectly, like that. So for that, this young guy is telling that, sir, and I am about to reduce that 3 to the 1. So as I told you, right? So previously, before the year of 2889, 75 elements were used to make a robot. But now, in the year of 2889, they have reduced it to 3. So he says that he is going to reduce that 3 to 1. For that, he needs money, and if he gets the money, then he will be succeeding that within 3 weeks. So, and then what are you planning to do? That is what Mr. Francis Bennett asked. Then this young man says that I might have discovered something very new, something absolute. So for that, and what will be that discovery, guys? Discovery is nothing but a new finding. Okay, so new finding is what we call discovery. So for that, Francis is asking, so what will be the result of your discovery? What is the use of your discovery? The young man says that my discovery will make the creation of all forms of matter easy. Say for example, making a stone, making a wood, making a metal, fiber, and so on. So my creation will make my creation or my discovery sorry my discovery will make the creation of all forms of matter easy. So to make a stone or wood or metal, my discovery, the machine that I'm going to find, that I'm going to create, will make things so easy. So for that, Mr. Francis Bennett is asking that in question, that are you sure that you're going to construct a human being in. So he says that yes, absolutely, but only thing will be missing is soul, because a mission will not have a soul, right? So that is what this young fellow is telling to Mr. Francis Bennett. Then Francis Bennett was impressed. So what he does, he assigned the young fellow to his own scientific editorial department. So Mr. Francis Bennett is finished with the first guy, the guy who proposed the construction of artificial human being, or else we can say a robot. So now he is interacting with the second person, and we can call him a second inventor. So inventor is a person who invents something new. Okay, so who create something new. So let's read and learn what happens. A second inventor, using as a basis some old experiments that dated from the 19th century, had the idea of moving a whole city in a single block. He suggested, as a demonstration, the town of South, situated 15 miles from the sea, after conveying it on rails down to the shore, he would transform it into a seaside resort. Francis Bennett, attracted by this project, agreed to take a half share in it. So what happens is interacting with the second inventor. So the second inventor, like he has an idea, but this idea was like even in this 19th century. Like 19th century means before the year that we right now we are living in 20th century, right? So this before the 20th century, this idea has already been proposed, but it could not be established at that time. So remember, this story is revolving around 2889 of the year, which means it is 1,000 years ahead of the story when it was written. So the second inventor has an idea of moving an entire city in a single block, okay, from one place to another place. So what he does, he suggests that, so as a demonstration, to demonstrate, he says that the town of South, the town of South, which is situated 15 miles from the sea. So like it is situated from the sea to that particular region, it is 15 mile. So after conveying it on rails down to the shore, so he says that say for example we have a tracks there, right? So likewise moving rails will be placed on the down on the bottom of the city, and it will be moved towards the shore, and he will make that soft town into a seaside resort. So resort is nothing but a place where we can go and enjoy. It's a kind of an hotel. So if you take Goa and all, in Goa we have a lot of resorts on the seaside, on the beach, near the beach. So the resort will have a lot of luxurious stay room, a swimming pool, and all these things, which will be like a seaside resort means which is near to the sea. So when you come out, you can see the seashore. So that's what, say for example, in Soringnallur, we have a lot of seaside resorts, right? The big buildings with big houses and swimming pool on this. So though we can take that as an example for seaside resort. So Francis Bennett was really attracted by this project because this project can be possible in future, moving a single town, which means an entire town from a place to another place. Okay, so he was really attracted and he agreed, and he wants to take half share from the project. So whatever benefits, whatever income, profit that they get from the project, so the Mr. Francis Bennett is claiming he wants half of it from the benefit or profit. The proposal heard and dealt with, Francis Bennett went to stretch himself out in an easy chair in the audition room. Then, pressing a button, he was put into a communication with the central concert. After so busy a day, what charm he found in the works of our greatest masters, based on a series of delicious harmonic algebraic formula. Algebraic formula. During his meal, phono-telephotic communication had been set up with Paris. So what happens? So if the proposals, I told you, right? Proposals are nothing but the projects which is written or which is created by many people who are interested to invent something new, or who are interested to discover something new, like the young broadman as well as the second inventor. So these proposals, everything have been heard by Mr. Francis Bennett. So because of that, he got tired. So what he does, so he stretch himself out in easy chair. That easy chair can be stretched, you know, right? So in many chairs we have that can be stretched, we can just lie down back on the chair, right? So that chair is just stretched and he was relaxing. Then he was pressing a button. So why is he pressing a button? So he wants to have a communication with the central concept. So that is it's a kind of a meeting. Just imagine it's a kind of a meeting. It's happening. So he pressed the button and he attends the meeting too. And after that, he comes to know that all of his works, have been completely fulfilled. How he comes to know? He comes to know with this harmonico-algebraic formula. So it's a kind of a statistical formula which people use to analyze the response of the subscribers. So what is, like, whether people enjoyed his report or telecasting, whatever it is. So they will get, say for example, in YouTube we give likes, dislikes, and comments, right? So these likes, dislikes, and comments will be calculated with this harmonico algebraic formula that will finally give us the result, whether it is likable 90% or dislikable. Likewise, he gets that response with the help of many people. So greatest master, they do this work, they do this kind of work and find out whether people liked his work or not. So with this formula, he comes to know that people liked his work and his telecasting, and he was really happy with that. During his meal, during his meal, like he was about to have his food, at that time, a phonotelephonic communication was set up with his wife, who is in Paris. So after a very long day, Mr. Francis Bennett having a telephonic conversation with his wife. When do you expect to get back to Centropolis, dear Edith? Asked Francis Bennett. I'm going to start this movement. By tube or aerotrain? By tube. Then you will be here? at 11:59 this evening. Paris time? No, no, Centropolis time. Goodbye then, and above all, don't miss the tube. These submarine tubes by which one travels from Paris in 295 minutes are certainly much preferable to the aero train which only manages 600 miles an hour. So, during the conversation itself, even when I read, you would have understood. So, he was asking his wife, when are you planning to come, my dear? For that, she says that I'm going to start at this moment. Uh, uh, are you going to travel by tube or aerotrain? So this tube or nothing but a submarine tube. So say for example, our trains looks like a tube, right? I mean, if you look at the structure, so he calls these submarines as a tube. So submarines are nothing but that travels by ocean, right? Below the ocean, below the sea. So he's asking, are you planning to travel by tube or aerotrain? So he says that she says that for that I'll be traveling by tube and I'll be reaching there by 11:59 in 11:59 this evening. So he's asking, is this are you talking about the Paris time? No, it's Centropolis time. So remember that the time varies, right, from place to place. Say for example, right now we have in India, it's a daytime here, but if you go to abroad, especially US, it's night over there. So likewise, the time varies. That is why he's asking Paris time. For that, she replies, no, it is Centropolis time. So then he bids goodbye to her, then and says that don't miss the tube. So this submarine tubes, right, that can travel from Paris in 295 minutes, roughly around 4.5 hours. So whereas this aero trains only travel 600 miles an hour. So for per hour it just travels 600 miles, but this aero travel from Paris to Centropolis, it just takes only 4.5 hours. So he says that the submarine tubes are much preferable than the aero trains. So France, so this line is not supposed to be here, so don't get confused. Francis Bennett, very tired after so very full a day, decided to take a bath before going to bed. There was always a bath already in the office. He touched the button, a rumbling sound began, got louder, increased, then one of the doors opened and the bath appeared, gliding along on its rails. So, say for example, okay, let me just explain this. So, what happens? It was a very long day, so he was so tired. Before going to bed, he decides to take bath. So, what he does? So he touches the button. So in his office, always there is a bath available. So as soon as he touches the button, so a rumbling sounds begin. So what is this rumbling sound? Say for example, a continuous full and low pitched throbbing sound. Imagine that when you push something, you can feel a vibration sound, right? So that is it's just like that. So when he touches the button, so this sounds starts getting louder because the bath tub, we can imagine as a bath tub, it's been moving from one room, and the door opens, then the bath appears gliding along on its rails. So you can say that gliding means, gliding sliding gates are there, right? So sliding gates, on the bottom you have rails that helps to glide the gate. Likewise, this bathtub was gliding along on its rails from that bathroom. So hope you all understood the story. You can see that this story was written very long time ago. So but he imagined so many things that we have already achieved, we have already invented, but still there are many things which has been detailed or explained in the story, yet to be discovered or yet to be invented. So this is the reason why Jules Verne was so popular, because it was like they didn't even have power electricity at that time. They didn't even know what is internet, but all these things have been discovered in his age, in his times. So this is the reason why he was so popular and famous writer when compared to others during his era. So that's all, guys. Hope you all understood. If you still have any doubts, you can contact me in the below in the comment section. Take care, guys.